Hello and welcome to At Your Pace Online's 5-hour new MLO course for loan originators who were first licensed in Utah this year, as well as for any MLOs required to take this class for other reasons. I'd like to point out that this timing is new to Utah. The Utah Division of Real Estate amended the Utah Residential Mortgage Practices and Licensing Rules on November 6 of 2019 to clarify that beginning on January 1 of 2020, a new MLO would be required to complete the new MLO course in the year the MLO first became licensed in Utah. This language replaced the requirement to complete the new MLO course at the end of the first full calendar year of licensure. What this means is that an MLO licensed in mid-2019 was not required to take the new MLO course until their license was due for renewal in 2020 under the old rule, whereas an MLO first licensed at any time during 2020 became required to complete the class before December 31 of 2020. In other words, this new MLO course is suitable for MLOs first licensed in both 2019 and 2020. From 2021 on, the new MLO course will be required for MLOs licensed during that year. Adjusting the timing, among other things, relieves the DRE of the need to manually verify completion of this requirement, since the new timing permits the NMLS to automatically track course completion for each new loan originator required to take the course. Additionally, as another part of this amendment, beginning on January 1, 2020, any lapsed or suspended licensee seeking reinstatement must now also take this 5-hour new MLO course. This DRE action was in response to the recent replacement of the Utah-specific test by the National Uniform State Test. In essence, the new post-license CE requirement for reinstatement applicants restores the ability of Utah to administer a state-specific test to these applicants, since an exam is included in the standard 5-hour new MLO course. Explaining how the requirement to take the 5-hour class works with other continuing education requirements is a bit complicated. The Utah Division of Real Estate mandates that every state-licensed MLO in any approved status complete each year of licensure at least 10 hours of NMLS-approved continuing education, or CE. This annual CE requirement must include 3 hours of federal law, 2 hours of ethics, which must address fraud, consumer protection, and fair lending issues, 2 hours of non-traditional mortgage lending, and 1 additional hour of elective content, plus a 2-hour Utah-specific annual update course. So the annual CE requirement is 10 hours. How this works out is that anyone who was first licensed in 2019 needs to complete the 10 hours of CE required for a license renewal, plus the 5-hour new MLO class for a total of 15 hours in 2020. Similarly, applicants for a license reinstatement will need to complete both the 10 hours of required CE for the license renewal cycle plus the 5-hour new MLO class for a total of 15 hours. MLOs first licensed in 2020 do not need to complete the 10-hour CE requirements during 2020, but as I said earlier, must take a 5-hour new MLO class before December 31 of 2020. The only exception is that if you were first licensed in 2020 but completed your pre-license education before January 1 of 2020, you must still do the full 15 hours of CE. During all subsequent years, naturally, a new MLO class isn't required, only the normal 10 hours of CE. So you will only be taking this class once, unless your license is suspended and you apply for a reinstatement. That was a lot to cover, and we haven't really even started the class. The class covers each of the 10 topics selected by the DRE for all new MLO classes, along with a few topics critical to MLOs in Utah that were not included in the DRE curriculum. Along the way will be a series of review questions that the NMLS requires in order to track student progress and full participation in the class, and the class will conclude with a final exam. We'll begin with one of the 10 topics selected by the DRE for all new MLO courses, what it means when we say that Utah is a non-disclosure state.